Greetings everyone, and I hope you're all fine and dandy wherever you are in collecting land, and welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And today it's the turn of Present Toys take on Max Rockatansky, aka Mad Max, aka Tom Hardy, and that's a lot of AKAs, but it's from the 2015 George Miller directed fourth installment in the post-apocalyptic franchise, Mad Max Fury Road. Usual format everyone, box, accessories, figure, then showcase at the end. But before we dive in, as always, I'd like to send a huge thank you to everyone who supported Go Figure. And please drop a like on this review and help other people find the channel. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you don't miss any of the 1/6 scale fun we've got lined up for 2025. And trust me, there's a hell of a lot of it. So, the Road Warrior, it returned to our screens in 2015, all shiny and chrome, after a 30-year hiatus, minus Byron Kennedy and Mel Gibson, but with enough gasoline-powered mayhem to reboot the ailing franchise in the manner it deserved. Regulars to the channel will be fully aware of my love affair with all things Max, an affair that began in 1979 when a 12-year-old Mr. Go Figure sat transfixed at the genre-defining original. Fury Road is a fantastic addition to the series in my opinion, but my favourite's always going to be the masterpiece that is Mad Max 2 The Road Warrior. But that's enough of an old man's wasteland walkabout. Onto the box, and we'll stop it from spinning, have a quick look at it. It's a slipcover design. It's very much in keeping with Present Toys packaging. On the front here you've got this sort of diagonally split front cover which continues all the way around, this sort of angled line going on, and on the top here you've got what looks like some stylized pictures of Max himself. Not sure whether that's the figure, pretty certain that's a still from the film. That could possibly be the figure, or once again could be lifted from the film, hard to tell, but yeah, super stylized. You've got all these explosions in the background, this big rig in the middle, there's sparks and flames, and all in keeping with Mad Max. It says Wasteland Ranger here. Obviously this is an unlicensed product, even though they have bunged Mad Max on there above these tyre marks. It says Present Toys at the bottom, 1/6 scale collectible figure. The second sort of segment of the front cover has got this sort of off-white colour with what looks like oil streaks and dirt marks on it, and that's continued around the side. Yet more explosions, yet more wacky vehicles. Same thing around this side, only obviously bigger white section. Around the back you've got all the usual warnings and credits and so on. Don't piss this figure off, or it might want its jacket back. On the top it says Wasteland Ranger, on the bottom Wasteland Ranger again. It's a slipcover design, and when you remove the slipcover what you are greeted with is this super stylized picture of Mad Max himself, with that grill attached to his face, made out of a trowel. It's not the best artwork I've ever seen, but it's bold and it's effective. You've got a sort of hidden yellow skull in the center there. It says Wasteland Ranger at the bottom, chains, flames, and the whole shebang going on there. So that's the box itself. Brand new box, literally just come through the door, gone straight in front of the camera. So let's do what we always do. Let's crack the seals open on this boy, dive down onto the table, and have a look at all the accessories that come with your Max figure. Okay folks, so seals broken, accessories out. This is everything that you get with your Mad Max figure, and it looks like you get an absolute shed load of stuff, but it's deceptive, because 90% of what you're seeing here is actually equipment which is stowed in his tactical vest and on his person. So slightly deceptive, but we'll have a quick look at all the bits and pieces before we bring the figure out. We will start with these swap out arms. Great to see here that Present Toys have actually gone with seamless arms. And they give you a couple of spares. There's one already on the figure itself, and you get these two. There's a trigger finger arm and a gripping arm here. Now these swap out at the elbow, as with most seamless arms. Paint applications and sculpt looks pretty good. There's vein work on there. There's an attempt at bone work in the back of the hands. It's not the best paint applications I've ever seen. I'll try and get these as close in as I can. The light's probably not doing these justice, but yeah, overall not bad. There's an attempt at fingernails there. There's creasing in the palms. The underside of the arms has been done quite well. There's multiple paint applications on there to try and replicate the skin tone. And overall, yeah, as far as swap out arms go, they're not bad. They're not the best I've ever seen, but it's not to say Hot Toys standards, but at the end of the day, Present Toys third party, and they come in at a budget. So yeah, they're the swap out arms. We'll pop those to one side. You also get what looks to me, and I'm hazarding a guess here, is a spare swap out left arm. Could be wrong on this one, as there's only one spare hand here. Now this is a gloved hand, and I'm assuming these two go together. Sorry, gloved hand. These are the bandaged hands. Now there's a bandaged hand already on the figure itself, and then you get this one as well, which is a trigger finger hand. The bandages on the back of the hand haven't been sculpted in. These have actually been attached, which is really nice to see. So these are real bandages over the hand sculpt itself, and they've been weathered, and the colour looks on point as well. Same level of sculpt and paint applications on the visible parts of the hand there. We will do the flexibility test. Can't do it on that one, but we'll do it on one of these swap out forearms. Yeah, you're looking at a medium here, so hopefully no need for a hairdryer or hot water, he said confidently, but you never know. So yeah, that's the arms and the hands. You also get an absolute shed load of magazines. We'll just take a quick look at one of each here. These swap out magazines, as I say, all go in the tactical vest. Pretty screen accurate by the looks of it. Nice sculpt, all plastic obviously, and what you've got is a bit of dry brushing on there to give it that sort of depth and that metallic grey paint. And it's the same story with these magazines. I believe these are extended magazines for the handgun, the Glock. You've got painted and sculpted in bullets, which is nice to see, and you get 2 handgun extended mags, 2 rifle extended mags, and these 2 as well, which I'm not 100% certain about right now, but yeah, same level of paint and sculpt and detailing on there, so nice to see. But as I say, most of those will be going in the tactical vest. We'll pop those to one side. Oh, 2 more mags. It's just Mag Day. It's National Mag Day. You get these 2 smaller ones as well, once again sculpted in bullets, nice paint applications. So yeah, enough mags to keep you happy for until National Mag Day. Let's take a look at the rifle while we're on weaponry. Now, screen accuracy looks on point straight away, I've got to say. Paint applications, perhaps not the best I've ever seen. You've got this dark metallic grey on the barrel at the front here and on the main body, with a bit of silver dry brushing by the looks of it in there to pick out the details. Scope's nicely painted, proportions look on point. The wood stock here and graining on the main body of the gun could be a little bit better, but as I always say with Present Toys, remember we're working to a price point here. Also comes with this sort of attached pouch which goes over the stock section of the gun, which is made out of what feels like nylon, and you've got movable bullets in there. These bullets look all removable to me, and you do get some spares of those as well. Once again, screen accuracy is there. That's a feature of the weapon in the movie. So overall, yeah, not bad. I've seen worse, let's put it that way. But yeah, that's the rifle. Pop that to one side. While we're on weapons, sawn-off shotgun. Where would Max be without his shotgun? Very, very simplistically done here. Not the most detail I've ever seen, but there's been an attempt at metallic paint applications on the barrel there. You probably noticed there it cocks quite loosely. No sculpted in, shells in there. Once again, that wood graining effect on the stock itself could be a touch better on the handle, but yeah, it's not the worst I've ever seen. And you've got that double trigger going on as well, which is screen accurate. So yeah, sawn-off shotgun. Glock, I believe it's a Glock. I'm hoping it's a Glock. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comment section. As regular to the channel will know, I am trying to educate myself on these things. But yeah, you've got this sort of greeny grey coloured effect on the top of the slide there and on the grip. There is a removable magazine on this one, if I can get my fingernail in there. And once again, sculpted and painted in bullets. No sliding top section to this gun, but yeah, overall, nice paint applications, nice sculpt. So that's the Glock. You get a knife, his boot knife. Quite a simple design here, all one piece of sculpted plastic, no metal going on. nice silver paint applications on the blade, and a decent attempt at sculpting the handle there, the combat handle. So yeah, that's the knife. Well, we've got shells as well. We'll take a look at shells while we're doing this. You also get a raft of shells. Now, the vast majority, once again, of these are going in the tactical vest. So you get these grenades, pretty simplistic, sculpted plastic, black body, and that brass effect head on the top there. We'll pop those to one side. You get a couple of shotgun shells. Pretty much the same story here. Regulars to the channel will know I have sausage fingers, so if I'm struggling here, bear with me and get this camera to focus. Yeah, same story. Plastic, black plastic sort of base section almost, and then the brass at the top there. So yeah, a couple of shotgun shells, 3 spare, and I'm going to try and pick these up. I hope I don't drop them. 3 spare bullets, like the ones that we saw in the shoulder stock there. So yeah, they're nicely painted, nice and shiny. All one piece of plastic, so you get 3 of those as well. You also get a set of bolt cutters, really nice to see. 1 piece of sculpted plastic. The paint applications on here are really, really good, I have to say. I think these look like they've repurposed the ones that came with the Leon, the professional figure that came out last year. And I think all they've done is slightly altered the paint application here, and what they've done is gone for a more rusty effect with these brown washes on the edges and around the nuts in there. But overall, yeah, they actually function as bolt cutters, which is nice to see, and nicely painted. So yeah, that's the bolt cutters. You also get the chain. This is attached to Max when he's been driven around as a blood bank. And it is what it says on the tin. It's a piece of chain, metal, and it's got a sort of metallic paint application on the top there as well, just to give it a bit more depth. So yeah, that's your chain. Mask. Now, this mask, this sort of has become a little bit iconic. This is made out of plastic here. It's a flexible plastic, which is good to see. Now I'm assuming you slot this over the top of the head sculpt, or it could be the other way around. It looks like it's over the top. But yeah, meant to replicate metal there. The paint applications are pretty good. You've got silver dry brushing on there to give it that metallic look. The sculpt is screen accurate. You've got the trowel on the front there as well. So if you're wanting to sport the mask look, you've got that option as well. So pop that to one side. I'm assuming this is a Canteen. Now I own the VTS version of this, which we're going to do a comparison with a little bit further down the line. So I am pretty certain I know where most of these pieces go in the tactical vest. A lot of people aren't going to know that, and unfortunately Present Toys haven't seen fit to include any instructions here. So yeah, it's pretty much make it up as you go along. But there is a spot for all this stuff. You get this Canteen, which is sort of a military silver, a military green paint application on it with some silver dry brushing, relatively simple. What else? You get this clear blood pipe. It's the blood bank pipe, which goes in the strap on the shoulder of the tactical vest. This is for transferring the red stuff from the donor to the person in need. So put that to one side. These are bits of armor. You get the shoulder pad, and this is made out of what feels like a nylon material, man-made material here, with pleather, what feels like pleather straps to attach it to the figure, and then you've got the plastic section across the top to emulate the shoulder pad itself, with that same sort of dark military green that the Canteen had, silver dry brushing on there as well. Overall, pretty nice. One of the issues I had with a lot of Mad Max figures, especially with these shoulder pads that come separately, is you're having to bend them to actually fit the shoulder itself, because sometimes straight out of the box they look really, really big and way out of proportion on the shoulders. But we'll see how it looks when we bring the figure out. So shoulder pad, gun holster, once again, this feels like it's made out of sort of like canvasy nylon type material. Stitchwork's pretty good, and I believe this attaches to the thigh area. So yeah, and a spot in there, I got that the right way around, and a spot in there for the Glock as well. So yeah, gun holster, put that to one side. Scarf, very simple. This feels like a man-made fibre, very thin. It looks like there's been an attempt at weathering on here. Getting this on is really down to personal taste and futzing around, as I found out with the VTS version. But it's nice to see it's been included, and it's been weathered as well, and it's tied, so you're not going to have to worry about tying it in a knot. But it's simply a case, as I said, of futzing it around on the neck to get the look you want if you're going to use it. So that's that out of the way. Finally, the tactical, well, almost finally, the tactical vest itself. Now, colour-wise, I'm not 100% certain this is on point. I will have to go back and check. But the stitch work and the sort of the tailoring of this piece is pretty well done. You've got those separate bullets in there, so there's even more bullets going on, which are slotted into the little holders there. Multiple pockets going on for all the different accessories, the magazines, the canteen, the shells and so on. You've got the knife holder on this side. It's made out of a sort of, once again, that canvasy stroke, possibly polyester, maybe, I'll say polyester, maybe that a man-made fibre anyway, but it's sort of somewhere between that sort of cotton, although these feel cotton on the back, these pouches, but yeah, the main body of the vest itself feels like it's a sort of a canvasy type material. All these sort of sections around the around where the waist, the front sections meet the back section, are screen accurate with those straps. And overall, yeah, pretty good. There's been an attempt at weathering on here, as you can see on the back, with some dark areas at the bottom and the top there and around the centre. But the stitch work looks good, and overall screen accuracy looks pretty good. As I say, though, still not 100% certain about this colour. I think it might be screen accurate. I think the VTS version is dark. I will double check between takes. So yeah, that's your tactical vest. And finally, the base. And a big base it is too from Present Toys. One piece of hollow sculpted plastic, nothing on the bottom there, no feet, so exercise caution as always if you're popping it onto a glass surface. We don't want it sliding around and falling off. Max is mad enough as it is without dropping me on his head. On the front you've got what feels like a metallic plaque. Not 100% certain whether that is. It's quite cold to the touch, so I'm going to go with metal. And etched into the metal there it says Wasteland Ranger, and on the top you've got this, how can I describe it? It's a sticker, and it's meant to replicate sand, obviously. There's sort of a desert effect, and I've got to say it's not the best I've ever seen. I have a number of sort of custom diorama stands that I use for my Max figures. Don't think I'll be using this in the display. Number one, I'm not awfully keen on seeing Wasteland Ranger on the front there, and number two, I think I've got to say, Present Toys, I think that does look cheap. Let's call it what it is. Yeah, it looks like a cheap sticker, and that's because it is a cheap sticker. At the back there, you've got the crotch grabber. The space for the crotch grabber comes with a standard issue crotch grabber, which simply slots in that hole there, and these things never, oh, it worked. Wow. Worked on camera. First thing that struck me actually straight away was the footprint of this base. Now it's got a really hefty footprint, not dissimilar to the size of All Toys Dune figures that we looked at recently on the channel. Pretty similar dimensions. Now what All Toys did here was they extended out that crotch grabber a little bit. I've got a feeling here once he's on this stand he's going to be way back. He's going to be back here somewhere, which is going to leave an awful lot of real estate at the front, but I'll reserve judgment on that until we bring the figure out. So that's the diorama base stroke stand. I've got mixed feelings on that one. So there you have it, folks. That's all the accessories that come with Max. Without further ado, let's bring out the man himself. Let's get him onto the stand, onto the turntable, and have an up-close look at him. Okay, folks, so here he is. It's Tom Hardy, aka Max. Straight out of the box, straight onto the stand and straight onto the turntable. No accessories here. I've not added anything at this point because I wanted to get an idea of proportions and what the figure looks like untooled up, so to speak. But yeah, first impressions, mixed bag this one, I've got to say. I'm going to reserve judgment on the proportions. As I mentioned, I've got the VTS version of this figure, and that also looked out of proportion when it was in this state. It's not until you add all the bits and pieces that it really bulks him out. Now, if you went for Tom Hardy's bulk, and he is a bulky guy, and you went for that kind of body, then added the rest of the stuff, he would look absolutely massive and too big. So I think it's a compromise here. However, those arms do look a bit on the scrawny side to me, and those aren't covered by the rest of the outfit itself. But yeah, bit of a mixed bag. Head sculpt looks okay, looks pretty good. A word that leapt straight into my mind as soon as I got this thing out of the box was weathering. This thing needs a world of weathering because it's way too clean, and that goes for the tactical vest and the other accessories as well. But we will stop him from spinning and give him a quick once over. Let's get him off this stand, and we will do what we always do. We'll start at the bottom and work our way up. What you've got at the bottom here are the they were sort of a boot stroke training shoe. They were halfway between the two, and they've captured that pretty well here. They're all sculpted plastic, these boots. There's tread on the bottom there, which is nice to see. The detailing is okay. It's not perhaps the most accurate I've ever seen, but it's there. I believe these are pegged straight into the legs themselves, so you've got a bit of forward and backward movement there, and a decent amount of lateral movement as well. But as you can see, the caliper is attached so tightly to his leg here that it's pulling in the pants section here, and when you move that, you are risking damaging, I think, those pants, the bottom of those pants, simply because this caliper is so tight. I'm not sure whether that's supposed to be underneath that strap, but yeah, I believe, talking of these pants, I believe these pants are leather. I believe the whole outfit is meant to be leather. I've double checked, and I believe it is leather. It is. If it isn't leather, then please correct me in the comment section below. But it's quite a thin leather. It's a soft leather if it is leather, and it's pretty much on point as far as screen accuracy goes. The stitch work is pretty good. It's got that rough stitch work around the thigh area there, which is good to see. The caliper itself, that's made out of quite thin plastic, and it is designed to move with the knee joint here. Now, straight away out of the box, and I've got to say this, we'll start covering articulation now. The knee joints themselves are pretty good. I'm not going to overstretch this one with the caliper on, because to me that looks quite flimsy and looks like it could snap. But there is an attempt at weathering on this caliper. There's some silver dry brushing on there. The straps themselves feel like I'm going to say pleather, but if the rest of it's leather, then there possibly could be leather as well. If it's leather or pleather, it's super thin, so watch out for that. Then there's this sort of tan, how can I describe it? This tan nylon section as well, which ties at the back there. It's got this little metal clasp at the back. Two more straps at the top there, and the rest of the caliper itself is all sculpted plastic. It sort of takes some futzing to line it up. You've got the piston on the side there. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to test the articulation with the calipered leg. We'll test the articulation with the non-calipered leg, and yeah, you've got it right the way up to the back there, so you've got a good range of motion in the legs there. Talking of the legs, now I noticed, and straight away I've just extended that leg, and we've got discoloration going on at the knee joint there. So yeah, perhaps I wouldn't recommend doing that. The joints here are very loose, particularly on this right leg. I noticed this straight out of the box. Not a good sign that the body under here is of any particular quality. As you can see here, the legs themselves aren't, and collectors will know what I'm talking about here, don't feel lined up right. As you can see, if I get that leg straight, try and bring that foot in a little bit, you can get closer. But yeah, this right knee joint, not super loose. It's not going to fall on you, but it doesn't feel particularly sturdy. It is a ratchet joint. I can feel the ratchet in there, but it's not a very sturdy ratchet joint. Moving up and continuing on the subject of articulation, notice this straight out of the box as well. It's this leg here is yeah, I'm moving this with one finger, and it's not falling back, but really it takes very little pressure here. So yeah, very loose at the top here, at the hip section, super loose. There is a range of lateral movement in the leg there at the top on both of them. This one isn't quite as loose, but yeah, this one's definitely got some jankiness to it. Take a quick look around the back. Pretty simple around the back. Yeah, it's just these leather pants with the stitch work up the back, so not much to see there. Continuing up, you have the shirt underneath, which is quite nicely done. That colour is screen accurate with that sort of tan, that dirty tan look. There's been an attempt at weathering on this shirt. You can see the dark mark around the chest area there. There's some darker areas around the bottom of the shirt if the light's catching this, and the edge of the shirt has been frayed, which is nice to see, as has the neck area. But yeah, once again, way too clean, that shirt. In my opinion, the weathering there needs to be a lot heavier, so this is going to be a weathering job after this review. The jacket looks pretty much on point. If it is leather, it's been well stitched. It's lined with this man-made fabric. You've got buttons on there, non-functioning zips. Overall, yeah, it's pretty good. You've got that rough stitching in the left arm there, which is once again screen accurate, and on the shoulders as well, if the light's catching that, and around the collar. That rough stitching is completely accurate as well. Let's check the articulation in the arms there. Is there a butterfly joint? Yeah, you've got a butterfly joint going on at the shoulder area there. Another small ratchet going on in the elbow. We'll bring that up, and that's going to go all the way up pretty much to 90 degrees there. So that's nicely done. While we're here, we'll take a look at the underside of this jacket. Once again, that's been nicely done. You've got this cross threading going on with these cords that run through. Once again, screen accurate. Let's just check if that has discoloured at the elbow there when I bent it. I am not sure that this particular jacket is going to stand the test of time. I got a VTS version, brand new, as I mentioned before, and that literally must have been stored somewhere very humid, because as I took it out the box, the pants just fell apart. I don't think it's going to suffer from that, but how long it does last is anybody's guess. So yeah, pretty much on point with the proportions of that jacket, and the stitch work looks good, but as I say, in need of some serious weathering. Okay, let's get close up on this head sculpt and find out what we're looking at here now. I think it's actually quite good. I'm spending some time with this, and I'm actually starting to quite like it. Is it 100%? Absolutely not. However, is it recognisable as Tom Hardy as Mad Max? Absolutely. The hairstyle is right, with that sort of those shave sections around the back and sides, and then those longer strands on the top, those untidy strands on the top. There's individual strands picked out, which is nice to see. The colour is pretty much screen accurate as far as I can tell. The skin tone and texturing is pretty good on the face. There's a slight discoloration there, and that's something on the head sculpt. See if you can't remove that. But yeah, the 5 o'clock shadow, which extends down from the sideburns into the chin area, absolutely on point. Nicely sculpted, nicely painted, and it's got a rough feel to the touch. You've got an attempt at weathering here with these two cuts on either cheekbone. The paint applications are good there. It's that high gloss red blood paint. As is the cut on the forehead there, which is furrowed with some nice paint applications. Overall, yeah, eyes are nice and glassy. I think, is it the best Tom Hardy head sculpt I've ever seen? No. But it's I think Present Toys have made a pretty good fist of it. It'll be interesting to see how this stands up against the VTS version. But yeah, fixed neck head sculpt. Oh, I always struggle saying that, which is probably good to see, because there's no swap out head sculpt with this one. We'll check the range of motion here. Yeah, limited, very limited here. That's the maximum you're going to get right and left, which is not brilliant, really, under the circumstances. We should be seeing more movement than that. That is just a glance right and a glance left. It's not even any real turn. There's plenty of forward and backward movement, but yeah, lateral movement there is pretty poor, unfortunately, which is a shame to see. Let's just check the waist section as well while we're here. Oh yeah, this is a really good twist going on in the upper body there, and the waist section. Let's not much by the way of an ab crunch, but most certainly there's heaps of mobility there for twisting. So I suppose if you're wanting to have him looking off to one side. You're gonna have to do that with a combination of waist twist and head movement, because there's not an awful lot going on there with that head movement. So yeah, there he is. That's Max himself. Let's get him back on the stand. I think what we should do next is tool Max up. So let's cut to a fully tooled Max. Okay folks, here he is. It's Max Rockatansky, fully kitted out. And yeah, where to begin? I want to see the positives here, and there are a lot of positives. Let's stop him from spinning actually, so we can take a closer look at him, because I mean obviously this is the finished item, so to speak. No one's going to, I don't think, display him in the mode that we looked at when we first got him out of the box. And therein lies one of my first issues, and I had this issue with VTS toys, to be honest. Why does he come disassembled? Because at the end of the day, I can't see anybody displaying him other than in this outfit, which therein lies another problem. It is a complete ball ache trying to construct this whole outfit and get it accurate, getting the right pockets, getting the tactical vest on. One of my biggest gripes, in fact, I'm actually going to go for gripes first, I think, and then we'll cover the positives. Let's get him right into shot. First and foremost, and this came out of putting the outfit on, those legs are seriously janky, as is the waist area, and he isn't stable even on the stand. He wants to topple over, and that's simply because of the looseness of the joints here. I've got to say, Present Toys have dropped the ball and dropped it quite badly here with this body. Upper body fine, lower body appalling. And as regulars to the channel will know, big fan of Present Toys. I really am. I've got a lot of their figures in my collection, and I've got a lot of time for them, but this body that they've used here, whether it's just this one or whether it's these in general, but it's crap. Let's call it what it is. The body is crap. And another thing about the body, while we're talking about body, it is out of proportion. I expected, once he'd been bulked out with the tactical vest and all the kit, that would make him suitably the size of Tom Hardy, but he isn't. As you can see, the proportions are off. Arms are way too skinny, as are the legs, to be honest, and there isn't enough bulk in the chest or in the waist area. When attaching certain parts of this outfit as well, suffers with the same problem the VTS figure did, and this is one of the most annoying pieces, and this is the shoulder pad here. I'll get him face on here. The way it attaches is a Velcro piece at the back, which actually matches a Velcro section of the tactical vest. You attach that, and then there's a strap underneath the arm, and it is supposed to rest somewhere up there for that screen accurate look. But because there is nothing to attach this section of the shoulder pad to either the vest or the jacket, it simply falls away. All you've got is this pleather strap underneath the arm here. Obviously you've got this section of this pocket on the tactical vest in the way, so that is never going to sit flush there where it should do for screen accuracy. No matter how much you futz with it, it's just going to fall off. No matter how tight you make it underneath there, it is never going to rest on the shoulder the way it should. So that's a gripe there, most certainly. I think it's just, yeah, it's not good enough. It wasn't good enough on the VTS version, and it isn't good enough here. Yeah, so that's another gripe. So we've done the jankiness, we've done this. The accuracy, as I mentioned in the previous section, of the colours on this tactical vest is actually there. It's spot on, and if this outfit is leather, then I'm really happy that it is. The weathering, the whole thing needs completely weathering. I'm probably bulking up in the centre section as well. The plus side, the accessories are very good. Not keen on this base, but the accessories are good. The outfit is good. The head sculpt, I'm growing to like this head sculpt more and more. Let's get him a little bit closer into shot actually. The head sculpt itself, yeah, it's growing on me, and it's a very, very good Tom Hardy head sculpt. Let's get him spinning again. It's just let down. It's let down in the other areas. The biggest gripe for me is how this outfit is put together. They've learned, Present Toys appear to have learned nothing from the mistakes of other companies and simply emulated the same mistakes. This thigh pouch doesn't fasten correctly. You can't get it tight enough, and it's oversized as well for the proportions of the rest of the body, so it doesn't fit flush. It's too big, and generally just looks a bit silly, to be honest with you. What it should be doing is actually being tight around the thigh area there, but the thighs aren't bulky enough, and I could probably fasten this a little bit tighter, but overall, yeah, that's not too good. Colors are on point. The accessories are pretty good, and overall, yeah, it's not a bad effort, but not present toy's finest hour in my opinion. What we're going to do next is we're going to bring the VTS version out, put these two side by side, and see how they face off against each other. Okay folks, so it's a max off. On the left hand side we've got the VTS Wasteland Ranger, the right hand side the Present Toys Wasteland Ranger. Comparisons. Well, for me, the proportions on the VTS version are far better. The body shape, the body they've used here is far more in keeping with with Tom Hardy's physique in the film. This one, Present Toys, way too slim. Also as well, I mean, you may be picking this up on camera here. The VTS version I got brand new, but had obviously been stored somewhere way too humid, and literally the pleather fell apart when it came out of the box. But it still can't disguise that the VTS version, I think, is far better weathered and far more in keeping with that Mad Max Fury Road aesthetic. You can see it's dirtied up. All sections are dirtied up where they're clean here. Everything from these canvas straps to the actual pants themselves, the jacket, the tactical vest, everything, even the shoulder pad is better weathered on the VTS version, so weathering is better. I think the paint applications on the accessories is better on the VTS version, and really I think the only thing other than the leather outfit, which if this version, the VTS version, had a leather outfit, would have stood the test of time, would look far superior. I think the only things going for the Present Toys version really in this battle are the head sculpt. I think the head sculpt is far superior on the Present Toys version. VTS version, I think, looks nothing like Tom Hardy. I mean, that's not to say the Present Toys version is perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but VTS just looks like somebody completely different. I think what we're looking at here is going to be a kit bash for me. I'm going to take elements from both of these figures. It most certainly will be the Present Toys head sculpt, but it'll probably be the tactical vest and some other bits and pieces from this one, maybe the leather suit weathered onto the VTS body. Yet to decide. That's a project for 2025 for me. But yeah, we need a final verdict on this version, the Present Toys version. As I said before, the plus sides really are only the suit, which is real leather. He said, fingers crossed. Correct me in the comment section below if I'm wrong. And that head sculpt, I think the body is way too janky. Proportions are off, and as I said, they haven't learned the lessons of actually delivering a figure that is fully constructed. In my mind, there is no reason why they shouldn't come already done this way. But yeah, a final verdict. It's a tough one, this, on the Present Toys version. I'm gonna have to go a 7, 6.5 maybe, 7. I think unfortunately Present Toys have dropped the ball here, other than that head sculpt, which I think is very good indeed. But yeah, it's going to walk away with a 6.57 down to the janky body, the bits that don't fit, the lack of weathering, and really I have yet to find my perfect Max Rockatansky from Mad Max Fury Road. I suppose the quest continues. I suppose that wraps it up for this one then, folks. I hope this review's been useful for you. Do you have this figure? What's your take on it? What's your take on the movie? What's your take on the Mad Max saga? Please drop a comment in the comment section below. I would be fascinated to hear your take on this. What's coming up on the channel? Well, we've got a raft of stuff, new and retro. We've got figures from Pure Art, from In Art, from Hot Toys, from Susu Toys, Org Toys. 3-0. The list is endless. And as I say, we've got new figures, retro reviews, we've got more episodes of Don't Make Me Choose, where I pit two figures against each other. Pretty pointless me doing it with these two now, because you already know the result of that one. But we've also got more episodes of Grail or Fail, and there are showcases and all manner of stuff coming up on the channel. So please, as I mentioned at the top there, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification icon so you're not missing anything that's coming up. And I suppose all it remains for me to say is a massive thank you for watching. And from myself and the two Maxes, take care of yourselves, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.